Well, good morning to everyone out there. My name is Latifa Hameen, and I'm with Healthy Positive Choices, a nonprofit whereby we do domestic violence awareness. I did not want this month to go by without acknowledging first all the victorious survivors of abuse that are out there. Congratulations on breaking that cycle of abuse. But there's still so many people that have not broken that cycle of abuse. And I'm here today to say there is help. There is people who really care about you if you're out there. I just wanted to say that domestic abuse is something that's running rapid in our society. And if it's not affecting certain people, then it's like, oh, it doesn't have anything to do with me. But there's so much of it that people are not even aware of it, little subtle things of domestic abuse, like the different forms of abuse. Did you know that there were more than just physical? There's emotional, there's mental, there's social, sexual, financial, even cyber abuse that we have today in this society where people are hacking into the social media. All of these things are abuse. And sometimes we're just not aware of them, or we're not thinking, oh, this is not abuse. But there's so many forms of abuse. And I'm just here to say that I did not want the month to go by without coming on and saying that we have to do better with domestic abuse. And I know many of us want to sweep it under the rug. We want to say, oh, it's not happening to me, or there's a pink elephant in the middle of the room. Everybody sees it, but no one wants to do anything about it. We got to do better. We have to do better. And I just wanted to give you a little knowledge this morning about domestic violence or the cycle of abuse. There is the cycle of abuse. There are three stages. First, you have the first stage, which is the stage where you're walking on pins and needles. You know something is wrong, but you just don't know what. You know that there's something not quite right about your relationship. So you're walking on eggshells, as we say. And then after that, the next stage is actually when abuse takes place. And remember, abuse is not just physical. In this society, it's like everything is physical. If someone is doing something and putting their hands on someone, which is wrong, but in this society, if that's not happening, they don't even acknowledge abuse at all in this society. And that's so sad because it's branded or ingrained in us that if someone isn't physically hitting you, then there's no abuse taking place. But there's mental abuse when someone puts you down, condescends, talks about you, gets loud, curses you out. That's abuse. That's mental abuse, emotional abuse. Sometimes not even talking to you, not speaking to you. That is emotional abuse. And then social abuse, keeping a person away from their loved ones or saying, oh, they don't understand us. And then, move away, isolate the person from the family and friends. That's a form of abuse. Financial abuse, making sure that you keep account of all the money that the person spends and giving them account for every dime spent. That is that financial and economic They call it financial economic abuse. And then there's physical abuse where, no, we already know about physical. And then there's sexual abuse where that sexual gratification is only for the abuser and not the victim. And there's just, and then the cyber, tapping into someone's social media page or just pretending there's someone else to harm someone. That is a form of abuse. So there's many, many forms of abuse. But we just have to acknowledge that education is the key. I'm telling you, education is the key. If we're not educated and we don't know, how are we going to be able to confront this demon? If we don't know what the forms of abuse are, when we see them, then how are we going to acknowledge that? We have red flags. All right, let me go back. I said the second one was when abuse actually takes place. And then the third is the honeymoon stage, which is the most deceptive stage of them all. Why? Because love is in the air. The person is apologizing. Emotions are very high. The person wants their partner to be better, to do better. But it's a cycle, because if you have not gotten any help, how do you expect anything to have changed? That person is the same person he or she was before the abuse took place. And if there's no help being sought or getting any help, then what's going to happen? The cycle is going to start all over again. That's why we say it is a cycle, because it starts all over again. The honeymoon stage is like the plateau, because it reaches that peak. And after that peak, then it may be nice for a little while, then it'll start all over again. That's the way it does. And having the knowledge and knowing what to look for will help you in the long run. Because at least you can make an informed decision when you have knowledge. But when you don't have any knowledge, then you have nothing to go on. And it's like when red flags, when you first meet someone and they're red flags. Well, what are red flags? Those are warning signs. Certain things are taking place. Say, for instance, you notice certain patterns of behavior and you're looking at that. What do you do with that? Where do you put it if you don't have any knowledge? You have to have somewhere to put this information when you get it. If you don't have anything to compare it with or put it, then you just like, oh, wow, he did this or she did this. But having the knowledge of what red flags are, being aware of certain patterns of behavior, knowing the characteristics of an abuser, what does that look like? All of those things are necessary. That knowledge is very much necessary in order to be able to identify abuse. And I'm saying that because many times people are in abusive relationships and don't even know that they are. They just sum it up or shove it under the rug. And when we get our emotions involved, the first thing we want to say is, oh my gosh, I'm so emotionally involved. And then we put blinders on. We don't want to see it. Oh, well, he or she, oh yeah, they do this sometimes. But see, that's why the knowledge is necessary to be educated on domestic abuse before your feelings and emotions are tangled up in it. Because once they're tangled up in it, it's hard for the person to see with their mind's eye, because emotions are clouding their vision. Yes, clouding that vision. So there's so many things. We talk about so much in the training. I have a training that's coming up called Train the Trainer. You're certified as a domestic abuse trainer, awareness trainer, and it's going to be on visual. It's going to be like a visual conferencing. It's going to be November 11th and 12th. And we're going to use this book. It is called Hidden Secrets, Making Positive Choices. That is my last book. It is a workbook. And we will be using that. And it's an 8-hour training. It's 4 hours on Saturday on the 11th and 4 hours on Sunday, which is the 12th. To have this knowledge is so important. And the course is $89. And the book, you can purchase the book on Amazon. Just put in Latifa Hameen, and this book will come up. Hidden Secrets, Making Positive Choices. And once you are certified, you can go back to your prospective communities and teach this information. It's so important. I'm telling you, domestic abuse is running rampant. And some of us are just burying our head in the sand. And it's not going to get better until we make it better. Domestic violence is an epidemic. It is really something that's destroying so much of our communities that we live in, and we're not even aware. Some of us don't even want to deal with it, but until we deal with it, it's not going away. And that's why I'm here. I am a victorious survivor. I was in and out of abusive relationships for a greater part of my adult life, so I know what that feels like. I know all of the ins and outs and done my research, and I'm still learning every day. But I want to share this knowledge. It's so important to share this knowledge with you all, to let you know this is something that's so rampant in our society, and we don't want to look at it. And the children are growing up and they're experiencing it. And until we break that cycle, we're going to continue to have generational abuse as well, from one generation to another generation to another generation. I say, let's start the ignite to ignite change. Let us get the knowledge, pass it on to another person, in turn passes it on to another person, so that we can stop abuse in any form. Knowledge is the key. We have to get in there, and we have to train and teach people. And that's part of what I do. That's part of my mission that Almighty God has given me. And I'm saying to you, if you're interested in taking this course, Train the Trainer, November 11th and 12th, it will be video conferencing. My number is 469-288-3233. 469-288-3233. Or you can email me at lahameen, HAMEEN, at H is in Harry, P is in Paul, choices.com. And let me know if you're interested. Limited space, but we're going to keep on keeping on, because until we get out there and do this, it's not going to change. And I'm part of the change. All praises due to God. And I am a victorious survivor. And you have a wonderful day. And I look forward to connecting with you on this training class. And you don't have to be a victim. You don't have to be struck by domestic abuse. You just have to want to help people. It's for nurses, it's for mental health workers, it's for anyone that wants to train anyone in this particular area. It can be a teacher, it can be a imam, it can be a minister. You can train your whole congregation. So I'm saying that God is good all the time, but we have to put forth this effort and reach out and make a difference. And that's what I'm doing. So you have a blessed day. God bless you. And I look forward to speaking with you and coming to my training. Peace.